Good evening and welcome to the 26th Annual Dusty Awards. I am Valerie Smaldone and I am thrilled to be back for the 5th year and seeing these wonderful, wonderful celebrations of our terrific students who've done amazing work this past year. And this night is for you. It's for you, it's for your family, for your guests, and we honor all of you here tonight. It's been a very long road for you. We have tonight presenters, we have awards, and even some surprises this evening. And in tonight's group of presenters, we have, interestingly, 6 are SVA alumni, 3 are faculty, and 1 is both alumni and faculty, so spanning both worlds. I have to tell you that as a host and as an instructor here at SVA, I'm always amazed at the quality of work that I see at these festivals, the storytelling, the technique, and the professionalism. So before we do anything, you need to give yourselves a big round of applause for tonight, for all the work you've done. And we are streaming live as well, so hello to the folks back home. Thank you for watching, we appreciate it. And for the folks in the overflow right across the hall here. So to kick off tonight's Dusties, please join me in welcoming the chairman of the Film and Animation Department, award-winning filmmaker himself, who was honored at last year's 25th anniversary Dusties, Reeves Lehman.
Well, I've been doing this more than 6 years. Actually, I started the Dusties, so it seems to get better every year. So welcome, and it looks like the word is out that this is a great place to come to. And in the past few days, we've been showing all the work of the students, full night of animation, and then another few nights of live action. Well, welcome to the 26th Dusty Film and Animation Festival Awards, celebrating our as Valerie said, very talented young artists and filmmakers. You know who I am, I'm Reeves Lehman, and tonight we're celebrating the achievements, but we also said, I guess we should have coordinated our things. I should have let you read my speech. But I'm going to repeat some of the things because they're worth repeating. One of the things, we have 2 very successful film and animation alums who have made and continue to make extraordinary contributions to their field. Film and episodic TV director and executive producer, Mr. Daniel Minahan. A friend, an amazing guy, you know, he's just a very humble person for all the things that he does. An animation artist and director for Disney, Alex Cooperschmidt, who also is a friend and I've known for many years, and he's also an incredible artist. Disney uses him for all the most difficult things, so they will never, ever let him retire. I want to say half of our stellar presenters are alum from SVA, and some of them as well are faculty members. So that says a lot about our school. We have literally over 1,000 instructors at the school, all working artists. Of course, they're not full-time. But we draw from the community here in New York, and students are learning from the best. So my hat is off to them, and I do wish all the students who are graduating this year the same kind of success. Having this celebration for our students every, for this is the 26th year, is a real joy for us. Basically, it is our gift to the students. It's our way of honoring their hard work and their deep commitment to their craft, and also introducing them even more so to the industry, because there's a lot of industry members here that support this, and we're very happy to have them here. Over the past 2 decades, we have seen films and animations that made us laugh, that's for sure, brought us to tears on occasion, and provoked anger at times. but most importantly made us aware of some of the important social issues, and not only in our own culture, but around the world. If you attended any of the past screenings, I think you would agree that this class is equally as talented as their predecessors, and we're very proud of them. And can we do one more cheer for them? You know, it's like, before our lovely MC, Masters of the Ceremony, comes back, I want to thank our sponsors for taking part in this festival. The proceeds, which amounts to tens of thousands of dollars, go right to the students supporting their films and worthy projects and so forth, which is, I don't think any other school does that the way we do it. And thus, some of the real challenging projects that students want to do and they can't quite cover the costs, we step in. So we're very fortunate to be able to do that. And if you're in the industry out there and you have not supported yet, I will tell you, everybody, should take note of the sponsors and actually use them, because we want them to come back and continue to support. To our graduating students, I say that it's never been a better opportunity now to enter the film and animation industry. The creation of worthwhile content, fiction, nonfiction, informational, art, and animated films are in high demand. And the good news is that production is booming right here in New York. And so feature films, episodic TV has doubled in the past few years, and the demand for short films and animation has tripled. So you are in the right place. One last note to the students. I strongly suggest that you make every effort to sustain the working relationships and friendships that you established over these years at SVA. Be in touch with each other. Continue to create things together. Encourage each other to take risks. Share ideas and job opportunities. Cheer each other on, and together, and it won't be an easy task, try to create the world that you want to live in. From everyone in the film and animation department and the school's president, David Rhodes, the executive vice president, Anthony Rhodes, and from all the MFA and the BFA departments, administrative offices, we're pretty big these days, and the 1,000+ faculty, as I said, we wish you the best. And I want to thank this lady here, Annie Flacco, and her staff for putting this together. And yeah, this is, she's been doing it for 7 years now, right? Yeah. So, and she does a fabulous job, and every year it seems to improve. And so you're benefiting from all these years of experience and input. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Annie Flacco. We are so thrilled to have all of you here tonight, as Reeve said, to celebrate and honor our film and animation thesis students and 2 of our esteemed alumni. Tonight, you're going to see clips of work that are truly remarkable, work that provokes, it amuses, it inspires, and it may even take your breath away. But before we get into our awards this evening, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the Dusties. The Dusties are a premier student film event, and increasingly it's become a hotspot for the industry to look for new talent, which is really exciting. In my 7 years with the festival, I am so proud of all that we've accomplished for the students and for the college. Behind the scenes and before this audience tonight, there have been tremendous efforts that have been undertaken in many, many ways. Mastery is the hallmark of our students' work that we honor, but also it extends to our faculty, our presenters, our sponsors, our judges, and to all of the SVA community. I'd like to express my gratitude tonight, starting with SVA President David Rhodes and Executive Vice President Anthony Rhodes, from the Film and Animation Departments, Reeves Lehman and Sal Petrosino, and the many faculty and staff who truly give so much and care so much about our students. They're all amazing. Tonight, you're also going to hear firsthand from over a dozen amazing presenters, and as it's already been pointed out, half of them are SVA alumni, which is really incredible. In addition, we had more than 24 industry professionals that served as festival judges. Collectively, the commitment of giving back makes the SVA community wiser, stronger, and more courageous in our work, and I thank you all. To our sponsors, whose names you're going to hear throughout the evening, thank you so much for your generosity. As Reese mentioned, 100% of our sponsorship donations go directly to our thesis students in the form of grants and in-kind awards. And I'm actually going to up the number that Reeves said, because over the past several years, the monies and in-kind awards that we received have actually amounted to several hundred thousands of dollars. So thank you so much. I'd also like to add that many of our sponsors recruit from SVA's graduating class, and so you'd say that their dollars are well spent, and parents, I'm sure you love hearing that. Your students are getting jobs. I also would like, yeah, right? I'd also like to acknowledge our Dusty team. Aimee Ramos, Mike Flanagan, and our student workers, Ashley Avila and Lauren McCall. The Dusties, from the first screening until the award ceremony tonight, is now a year-long effort in preparation. So thank you so much for your hard work. I truly, truly appreciate you. And finally, the reason we are all here tonight, our students. The screenings that we've had during these past 3 days are powerful testaments of skill and art, of work and rework, of endless hours, days, nights, and weeks, and of sweat equity born from creativity. And now these students applying all that they've learned here at SVA to their films and animations. I have had the great privilege to know, teach, mentor, and work with many of you. You are all so talented and creative and unique, each in your own way, and I know great, great things lie ahead for you. And personally, you have enriched my life in so many ways, and are truly the reason that I am here and do what I do. So congratulations to all of you. I am so proud of you. And now for the awards, which you are all waiting for. I turn the stage back to our wonderful and talented host, Valerie Smaldone, to introduce our first awards presenter for the evening. And I'd just like to say, Valerie, thank you. The Dusty Awards would not be the same without you. Thank you.
Now, Annie needs to get her due. I just have to say, Annie's an amazing producer. She started her career in Columbia Films, went on to independent film, and is the producer of Super Troopers. She said if I mentioned that, that we would get a cheer, so that worked, Annie. Thank you. Annie's an amazing woman and makes this event happen through sheer will and desire and love for what she does. It's an amazing feat. So thank you, Annie Flacco, for this beautiful event. So we must thank our sponsors throughout the evening, which I will be doing because of the generous support provided. And to begin, the Dustys headlining sponsors who have been sponsors for many years, B&H Photo, SCS Agency, Able Cine, and Adorama Rental Company. To all the Dusty honorees, we'll be getting to in just a few moments. When your name is announced, please come up, get excited, take a photo with your presenter, and then you can say a few words. We begin tonight's Dustys with an award that signifies triumph and exemplifies inspiration with the Human Spirit Award, and a great way to set the tone for tonight. And we are most honored to have an actor who made her debut in a film which provided her with international recognition and a Golden Globe nomination for Body Heat. She went on to win the Golden Globe for Romancing the Stone in Prizzi's honor. She's known for so many great roles and movies, including Peggy Sue Got Married, The Man with Two Brains, and The Virgin Suicides, and has made a tremendous stake on Broadway as well, including Cat on a Hot Tin Roof and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Star of stage and screen, please welcome Ms. Kathleen Turner.
So brave. Good evening. Hi. I am honored to have been asked to give the Human Spirit Award. I'll tell you mostly why, because I think it is essential to your lives, with your unique talents, to use them in terms of service and something beyond your own interests or your group's interests, to offer your talents in service to making this world, not to be too cliched, but I believe it, a better place. One of my favorite sayings is by Margaret Mead, and she said, "Never doubt that a single individual can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Do it." Now, the Human Spirit Award goes to Alexandra Kopek for The Artificial Womb. Huh? Yes, of course. Congratulations. Where's the photographer? Oh, we gotta go over this side. You hold it.
I was not expecting that at all. I have nothing prepared other than the fact that I could not have done this without my parents' support, especially my mother, Mary Kopek. She helped me from the start, and my amazing boyfriend for helping me really just shoot this year, because last year I did it by myself, and we've come such a long way. And a huge thank you to Valley Hospital for letting me in, and all the mothers for letting me into their lives for the last 2 years. And I don't even know what to say. Thank you very much. Where do I go?
Congratulations. Thank you, Ms. Turner, and I love your voice. Amazing voice. Wow. At the 25th Dusty celebration last year, we instituted 2 new awards, and we're continuing with a new tradition this year: Outstanding Alumni Award for Film and Outstanding Alumni Award for Animation. And we begin with the Outstanding Alumni Award for Film, presented to director Dan Minahan. This presenter for the award for Dan is writer and director Mary Harron, whose first feature film was I Shot Andy Warhol, and has written and directed American Psycho, The Notorious Bettie Page, and The Moth Diaries. For TV, Mary has produced such shows as episodes of 6 Feet Under, Big Love, and The Following, and the Lifetime movie Anna Nicole. She's currently working on a film about the last years of Salvador Dali. So please join me in welcoming Mary Harron to provide the Outstanding Alumni Award for Film to Dan.
Thank you. Just over 20 years ago, I met a young film graduate from SVA who showed me a film that he was working on that he had half finished. And it looked like a combination of Busby Berkeley and the young Orson Welles. And this was something he did as a student. So I knew then he was somebody to watch. And we started meeting often, and a couple times a week we'd meet in a coffee shop, and I'd show him the script I was trying to write. And he would give me notes. And after a while, I realized that he wasn't just giving me notes. He was giving me a vision of how to make the film. So in the end, I just said, well, you better write this with me. So he co-wrote my first film. I saw Andy Warhol, and we actually got the chance to stand on the stage at Cannes together, having been very poor and not had enough money for a subway fare a year or two before. That we then became, before we did that, we became the most unlikely field producers on a Fox News show ever, the most unsuited, I think. And Dan turned this idea into his first feature. And I remember telling me that it was a sort of a vision, which I thought was a fantasy of a world where there would be groups of TV crews following people in real life doing horrible things to each other. As well, that will never happen. And so Dan's film, Series 7, The Contenders, which is one of the most innovative indie films of the last 20 years, was also one of the most prophetic, as he actually foretold the entire world of reality TV. But he also saw that television was the new promised land for a director, and was smart enough to really jump in there and do some of the best episodes, if not the best episodes, of 6 Feet Under, Deadwood, True Blood, and Game of Thrones, that he was, was also a supervising producer on, not just creating the show as well as directing it. And so finally, I think people realized he's so talented. He's not only so talented and so visually brilliant, but he's so kind, so patient, so diplomatic. We should really put him in charge of the Mongol hordes. So they gave him Marco Polo, where he's been, I get emails from him from, I don't know, the strangest places, Kazakhstan, Singapore. Anyway, he's been, running moving whole peoples in war across continents. Now, you're going to see a selection of just how they could choose really a selection, and it only is the smallest amount of what he's done. But I think that even in this clip reel, you'll see that there is no one better than Dan at getting to the heart of a scene. So I think we're going to...
Everyone gets a number at birth. Your number comes up. Now all you have to do is stay alive.
It's kill or be killed. I'm going to win.
Meet the contenders. Dawn, Jeff, Connie, Lindsay, Tony, Franklin. One will win, the rest will die.
Series 7. Just thought I'd look these people up, psych them out.
There's a bomb in your house and it's gonna blow in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They're real people.
I'm gonna get you, Connie!
In real danger. In a fight for their lives.
Can you shut that off, please?
There's not enough light.
Yeah, well, why don't you go first then? All right, now I can't see anything.
Series 7.
The game is real.
You have my cell phone number. I'll let you know if I learn anything of use to you. Good night, tiny humans. Come on, Kobe. Let's get you two back to Bolton. Come on, get in. Let's go.
Your mother's dead. Before long, I'll be dead. And you. And your brother. And your sister. And all of her children. All of us dead. All of us rotting in the ground. It's the family name that lives on. It's all that lives on. Not your personal glory, not your honor, but family. Do you understand?
Daddy, please!
A crown for king.
Khaleesi?
He was no dragon. Fire cannot kill a dragon.
It is my great honor to present the Distinguished Alumni Award to Dan Minahan.
Thank you, Mary. I prepared something on this occasion. So, ultraviolence, profanity, gore, gratuitous lesbian sex. You can do this too if you choose to work in the field as a premium cable director. On the way here, I realized that this is the first award I received since I graduated from School of Visual Arts myself in the mid to late 1980s at my own student film award ceremony. So that's pretty cool. I'm very happy to know that. I graduated from School of Visual Arts in 1986 as a video art major. So that usually gets a laugh, but respect to the video art majors here at SVA tonight. I'd like to thank Reeves Lehman, who, for this honor, but who's remained a friend of mine since I graduated in my video art days. And we have a lunch every once in a while, and Reeves gives me a pep talk, and we get caught up, and we've been doing that for 20-something years. And it's a very important part of my life. So you can all count on Reeves for a free lunch when things get tough. Finally, most importantly, I'd like to acknowledge my mother, who's here in the audience with me tonight, who is the person who carried my guaranteed student loan for many years and waited patiently for me until I landed a job. So I share this with you. Right. And thank you very much.
Congratulations, Dan, and to Mom. That's so nice. Your mom's here. Congratulations, Mrs. Minahan. It's great. What a nice son. Nice boy. And you, I'm still waiting for a free lunch. Reeves, okay? Well, we continue on with our second Outstanding Alumni Award. This is for animation, presented to Alex Cooper-Schmidt. It will be presented by writer-director Andre Degas, whose most recent screenplay, Race, received support from PBS's Diversity Development Fund. He wrote and produced the feature film Condition Red, which aired on Cinemax and Showtime, first Coda and American Autobahn. Andre has directed and edited documentaries and shorts for CBS, MTV2, Lifetime, and Ovation. And Andre is a graduate of SVA. To present the Outstanding Alumni Award for Animation, please welcome Andre Degas.
What's up, people? Artists, SVA. This is so good. I can tell you right now that Alex hates this, okay? He hates an old comrade of his standing saying nice things about him. Well, tough, buddy. Suck it up. And I wanted to say something. I mean, you're going to see his movies, and you're going to see the clip reels, and you're going to see all this. And his stuff is iconic. Unless you've been living under a rock, this stuff is always there. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more, not so much about the poet that he is, the hardworking man that he is. Reeves mentioned humility. That's a big part of his character. Always showing up for other people. It's never really kind of about him. But he's a very, very well-rounded guy. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the guy that I know and how I met. Okay, so it was, I believe, somewhere back then in prehistoric times when we were graduating. And the animation department was on the 5th floor, and the film department was on the 4th floor. And he would come down sometimes. He's a very shy guy. At the time, he had long blonde hair and bell bottoms and a big belt and loose things. And I was like, isn't this the 80s? You know? And, you know, we met, we talked. He had an accent, I had an accent, so we bonded, you know? We bonded, and we started, you know, working. He actually, for an animator, he was astoundingly well-versed in folktales, world literature, everything. It was amazing having a conversation with him. He got it. But the thing that I noticed about Alex, and the first thing that ever got me, was his hand. That's the first thing. His hand was like the hands of Howard Rourke, you know, from the Ayn Rand novel, The Fountainhead. His hand was so strong because he drew all the time. No matter what he was doing, he was always drawing. So he came down and we collaborated on my feature film, and I was breaking the rules, and he helped me do that. He is, you know, one thing you got to know about Alex, as much as he worked for Disney and he's a great, like, team player, he's also a guy who knows the rules but knows when to break them. And I'll tell you the story how, and then I'll shut the hell up. You know, I was working on my feature film, and we were very, very poor. And I just basically spent my money on the film, and I decided to make a feature for my graduation, Suicide, and he was gonna help me. He came up one night, we finished the cut, and he goes, "What are you, an old man?" You know, he goes, this is good, but we can make this better. So over the course of one night, he said, you take this, you put it here, you take that, you put it there. He knew the characters, he knew the arc of the story, and we totally majigged the whole thing. By the morning, we loved it, and when we showed it to the advisors, they all hated us. But we thought it was good. We lived literally on, We lived literally on the sandwiches that his mom made, and the piroshkis that came from Brighton Beach or Queens. We didn't have that much money, and I guess I ate his lunch, you know, or we shared it somehow. And this is the kind of generous soul that he is. Wherever I finished the film or something, he would fly in and take a look at it, and he would say, "You really want to do this?" You know? And we would start messing around, and he'd get it down. I'm not really that articulate for a writer, but I have to tell you, there's another Polish writer. His name is Joseph Conrad. He's also a great British writer. And he sums it up for me. So I'm going to quote Joseph Conrad. He was also born in the Ukraine. "The artist's appeal to us is less loud, more profound, less distinct, and more stirring, and its effect endures forever. He speaks for our capacity for delight and wonder and the mystery surrounding our life." That's Alex.
Well, thank you. It's very humbling and very thrilling to receive this. I remember when I first came to SVA, I saw these two posters. One of them had an image of Pierrot gazing at the moon, which said, To be good is not good enough when you dream of being great. And the other one was an image of a chimp holding an oversized pencil, which said, having talent means nothing if you don't know what to do with it. I'm paraphrasing, but I can't recall which sentiment sat with me the deepest, but it made me feel right at home. And I think the most valuable thing that I learned at SVA is how to hear and value my voice, because it also taught me how to hear and value voices of others. When I joined Walt Disney Company, I didn't think I'd last more than 9 months being a punk kid from New York. But what I discovered is that the very values that I learned at SVA were at a premium at a place that's been my professional home for over 30 years. And there's great symmetry to that. So with that in mind, I would like to thank the SVA, the faculty, the staff, the Rhodes family for giving me a place to learn, the Walt Disney Company for giving me an opportunity to do what I love to do, and to my family and friends for their love, support, and inspiration. Thank you.
Congratulations, Alex. And thank you, Andre, as well. And thank you to alumni sponsors, Carlos Saldana and Bottle Cap Productions, Randall Emmett of Emmett Furla Oasis Films, Brian Singer and Susan Godfrey of The Productive. There's a great organization called New York Women in Film and Television, and our next presenter is president of the organization. She's an independent film producer and consultant who began her career in production on notable studio films like Mississippi Burning, Bonfire of the Vanities, and A League of Their Own. She went on to found a groundbreaking digital initiative, and breaking news, because she just told me this, never before mentioned in public, this is a scoop, Alexis Alexanian is now president of production at Locomotive Films, an independent film company, in production with a new film coming up called Look Away. They're shooting shortly or as I speak. So Alexis is with this new company, and she's president of New York Women in Film and Television to present the NYWIFT Award. Please welcome Alexis Alexanian.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Annie Flacco, Reeves Lehman. New York Women in Film and Television is proud to have had, I think it's over 10 years of a wonderful working relationship with SVA. And I'm even feeling a little emotional listening to some of the alums and certainly looking at all the work that I am very familiar with. And also proud to have taught one semester here. Some of my former students, I hope, are honorees or winners this evening. You're all winners, so congratulations for that. A little brief about New York Women in Film and Television, in case you don't know us by our acronym. It's NYWIFT, which could be extended to be NYWIFTM, or media, or digital content. We're getting there. Anyway, we're New York's preeminent association of women and men in film, television, and digital media. We have over 2,000 members. We produce over 50 programs a year, professional development seminars, screenings. We celebrate women's work. We advocate for women in the industry, and we seek to educate every which way that we can. So although you don't qualify as members yet, we'll be here when you're ready. So tonight I'm very pleased to give a scholarship that we've been giving, I think, for over 10 years. The New York Women in Film and Television Award, which is a $2,500 scholarship, to, is there a drum roll here? I like a little drum. Paola Bernardini. And this is your check. Oh, okay. And you also get a big old
swag bag.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. I was not expecting that at all. I really just want to say thank you to my parents that have supported me so much throughout all these years, and Joan, who has taught me everything I know. I love you so much. So thank you so much.
I thought that was your purse, Alexis. I wasn't quite sure, but it was swag. Auguri, Paola. Auguri. That's a wonderful honor and a wonderful way to continue with the Dusties. Thank you going out to the Criterion Collection, Audio Network, and the Law Office of Robert Siegel. And the 26th Annual Dusties continues with the IFP Award, presented by Zach Mandanak, Program Manager and Producer of the Independent Filmmaker Project. Prior to joining IFP, Zach was the Programming Coordinator for the Hamptons International Film Festival and the Programming Assistant for Tribeca Film Festival. He's served on screening committees for both, as well as the Hamptons Annual Screenwriters Lab, so he knows about all these festivals. Please welcome Zach Mandanak.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Annie, and everyone at the Dusties and everyone at SVA for having us here. Over at IFP, there gives us no greater pleasure to celebrate the work of emerging filmmakers and storytellers. That is basically what we do all day, every day. For those of you that don't know, IFP, the Independent Filmmaker Project, is the oldest and largest nonprofit independent filmmaker organization, and it champions the future of storytelling by connecting artists with essential resources at all stages of development and production and distribution. We foster a vibrant and sustaining independent storytelling community representing a growing network of over 10,000 storytellers around the world, and plays a key role in developing over 350 new narrative and documentary feature films each year. So we are very proud to present the Independent Filmmaker Project Award to two filmmakers, James Kamali and Joshua Barclay.
This is a little disappointing because I thought that I was going to be in the National Basketball Association. And when you're 5'11" and you want to be a point guard in the NBA and you're white and you can't jump, it just doesn't really happen for you. I averaged 7 points per game on my high school team, and I graduated and realized that pro sports wasn't for me. So filmmaking will have to do. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations to both of you. Thank you, Zach. We thank our sponsors, too, PhotoCare, Nice Shoes, and AJA Video Systems. So a film without sound is a very different storytelling experience. And so in the genre of sound, we honor an SVA student with a Gotham Sound honorary grant presented by Chris Newman, who's worked in the film business for 50 years as a production sound mixer and teacher. Mr. Newman has done sound on more than 85 feature films and has received 8 Oscar nominations for films like, The French Connection, The Godfather, The Exorcist, and then he won Oscars for The Exorcist, Amadeus, and The English Patient. And Chris recently received the Career Achievement Award from the Cinema Audio Society. He's the resident SVA sound guru. Please welcome Chris Newman. Come on up, Chris.
Resident sound guru? Where's the t-shirt? I'll keep it short. There are many former students, current students, students to be. First thing, a shout out, a very quick shout out to Mike Del Vecchio, who has been ill, and I certainly hope he gets better. In past years, I've said something about people who've passed from our business. But this year, the list is so long that it's overwhelming. So I can't say the names. I'll never get through it, and it won't have quite the resonance for you guys as it does for me. But I did want to say something about Gordon Willis, who passed. And there is a plaque in SVA about a teacher, and at the bottom of the plaque it says, his like will never be seen again. And that's what I would say about my late friend, Gordon Willis. And finally, because I don't want to make a meal out of this, that's what I said last year also, we have the sound grants. They're not quite awards. Maybe Reeves in the future will have sound awards. I'll campaign. Take me 5 years for that one. And in this case, we have 3 guys. I'm sorry there are no women this year, but I think next year we might have a woman. 3 guys that I've been working with for almost 4 years, but certainly 3 years. Terrific guys, professionals, ready to make a living, making a living. So, Henry Myers, Brian Perry, Sven Rettermeyer, please. Sven, are you here? Come on, Sven. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let Sven come up. Come on, Sven. Don't trip. Which way? That way? Oh, that way. Come forward.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to my friends and family for their love and support over the last couple years. But I'd also like to thank my colleagues, and especially Chris, for always being there when it was needed. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank Chris Newman and all of my instructors over the past 4 years. I'd like to thank my mother and all of the talented filmmakers in this room. Thank you.
Same thing, I'd like to thank my parents, Chris Newman, and all the faculty and all the students here at SVA. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations. And I do agree there should be an award for sound. I'm going to petition as well for that. I've worked with Sven, and he's been delightful, and I haven't met the other 2, but just delightful. Thanks, Chris Newman. You are our resident guru. Moving on to our next category, Outstanding Achievement in Character Animation and Outstanding Achievement in Animation Production Design. Director-producer Chris Prynoski will present these awards, and he began his career on shows like Beavis and Butthead and Daria for MTV in the early 90s. MTV Downtown earned him an Emmy nomination, and then in 2004, Mr. Prynoski founded the animation studio, one of my favorite names, Titmouse Incorporated. Fantastic. He's continued his string of his hits in his own creation, Motor City for Disney. He is currently executive producing a number of shows, including Turbo Fast for DreamWorks. Chris Prynoski, come on up, Chris.
Thanks, Valerie. Hey, can I tell you how great of a producer Annie is? She gave me 2 envelopes, because I'm presenting 2 awards. One says number 1 first, and the other one says number 2 second. So if I mess this up, it's not her fault. So anyway, I graduated about, exactly 21 years ago. And about 15 years ago, Reeves asked me to teach an intro to animation class. So I was like, yeah, man, I'd love to do that. It's awesome. It'd be cool. It's an honor. So I show up the first day, and I see the students, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm standing in front of them, and I got to tell them something. So I was like, the first thing I said, I was like, well, I got to have some kind of authority. And I was like, well, if you came here to get a job in animation, you should drop out today and get an internship somewhere. And I was like, oh, this isn't what I should be saying, because it's really about, so they're all looking at me with blank stares, and I was like, and this is true, and I'm going to bite a little bit of what Reeves said, because it's the cold hard truth, is like, what this is for is to grow as an artist, to develop your talent, to make your own films. So don't squander this. Because once you start working, there's no time for this. There's no time to make your own films. And all the people, this is the part where I'm going to say the same thing Reeves said, all the people that you meet here are the people that are, are going to be with you for the rest of your lives. These are your lifelong friends in the industry. These are the people who are going to give you jobs. And these are the people, when you're looking to give a job to, let's say you need an outstanding character designer, or an outstanding production designer, these are the people who you're going to call first. So anyway, I'm going to read off the envelope here. Here are the honorees for outstanding achievement in, I almost messed it up, in character animation.
The honorees for outstanding achievement in character animation are Kira Kupetsky, The Thrill of the Haunt. Claire Van Ryzen, Hotbod. Siti Sarah Zarul Azam, Ups and Downs. Elena Manetta, On Schedule. Ken Sue, Clown with an Ingrown Frown.
Wow, beautiful stuff. So, and the Dusty goes to Kira Kupetsky for The Thrill of the Haunt, and Elena Manetta for On Schedule 2. You get 2 awards. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. There you go. I want to make sure you get the ones with the right names on them. There you go. Now we're supposed to take a picture.
Yeah, you go first, because when I heard your name, I was like, good, you're not going to make me do a speech now.
No. Oh my God, like, thank you so much. I really want to thank just my whole animation family, all of you. My thesis advisor, Mario Menjivar, my composer, Cooper, my friends and family, and just everyone. Thank you so much.
And my speech is the same as Kira's.
All right, now on to number 2 second. Here are the honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Animation Production Design.
The honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Animation Production Design are Rena Parisi, Hiccup.
Listen is what they'd never do. Interior. Commoners enjoying a slow roasted mouthworm. All seems.
Samantha Lee, Peace of Mind.
Till he wants me to get up and leave, to learn how to breathe.
Chelsea Quinlan, Wanderlust. Michael Nappy, Rescue.
All righty. So the Dusty goes to Chelsea Quinlan for Wanderlust. This is easier. There you go. Let's take a picture.
Thanks to just everyone ever. Big crowds freak me out, so thanks.
Thank you, Chris, and congratulations to all the Dusty winners in that category. We would like to continue with our thanks to our sponsors with Adobe, Passion Pictures, The Studio, and Da Vinci Artist Supply. Now, at the top of the show, I mentioned that today we actually have some surprises that we haven't done before here at the Dusties, and it's a good surprise. This is one of them. The panel of judges that looked at all of the works for the submissions this year felt that there were some that didn't quite fit a category, and so they decided to suggest a jury award. So, with that in mind, here is a surprise. A special jury award has been established this year for animation. And so our next presenter will present the special new jury award that was established, followed by the outstanding animated film. He, you saw earlier, just a little while ago, is one of the recipients of the Distinguished Alumni Award himself this evening. Someone inspired at the very young age of 7 to become an animator when he watched a Russian version of The Jungle Book. Please welcome back Alex Cooperschmidt.
Thank you. Chris, look, I got an envelope that says 1 and 2. It's a plot. Boy, it's a chancy proposition talking about the future, you know, because it's not mapped out. But I'm certain that those that will graduate will be the part of the generation that produces the body of work that will inspire people that come after them. I hope you hold on to the passion for the craft that you have exhibited during your time at SVA. You will find that it will be your lighthouse, regardless of the path that your lives and your careers take. So with that in mind, the Special Jury Award for Animation goes to Rina Parisi for Hiccup.
The Special Jury Award for Animation goes to Rina Parisi, Hiccup.
Zealous eyes flashing forward are the stripper's trigger for stripping soul lashes clean. Stolen souls from those carefully chosen, stored in a jagged, mental canteen, his mind. To talk is what he'd never do. Breathing breaths like shy tea, the ribbons of clapper fall loudly on soft-cover books, and on the shelves, the pages gave the people looks. Breaking news!
Sorry.
Congratulations.
Wow. What? Okay. Oh gosh, I'm not really rushing to talk anyway. Oh, thanks. I can't believe this. It's cool. Oh my God, my parents are great. Oh my God, thanks for having me. And wow, I couldn't have done this without so many people. I think the best thing I learned about SVA is that you can collaborate with beautiful people. So thank you, James Collier, James Scarron, for narrating the film. Thank you, Anthony, for everything you've done for me this year. Thank you, Don Pointer, for being patient with me, and even though I haven't answered an email since January. And thank you, Mark Minig, for being you, and thanks to all my other friends. I love you guys. Hi, Claire. Hi, everybody.
Boy, I hope this is the right number 2. It's littered with envelopes here. So here are the honorees for the Outstanding Animated Film.
The honorees for Outstanding Animated Film are Samantha Lee, Peace of Mind.
Try to forget
Tina Wang, The Ocean Calls. Rina Parisi, Hiccup.
Please keep all arms and legs inside of the locomotive.
Claire Van Ryzen, Hot Bod.
And the Dusty goes to Claire Van Ryzen for Hot Bod.
Alex Cooper-Schmidt. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You guys are right there. And you've always been there for me. And thanks to the animation department. You guys are like my second family. And I couldn't have done anything without you. And wow, this is like a clear brick. This is cool. I like it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to both winners. Boy, there are a lot of envelopes here. You're right. Doing some house cleaning. We continue our gratitude tonight to sponsors Nickelodeon, Animation Magazine, Toon Boom Animation, and Blue Sky Studios. And now we move on in the Dusties 2015 to the Outstanding Achievement in Screenwriting. This will be presented by writer-director Alex Dinelaris, who is an Academy Award and Golden Globe winner of the very recent Birdman. He is, yes, we will have applause. He is the co-creator and executive producer of the upcoming series The 1% for the Starz Network. His film, The Year of the Monarchs, is currently in development, and he's co-writing an upcoming untitled feature film with director Guillermo del Toro. Also, Alexander, I'm very excited about this, by the way, is the book writer of the new Broadway musical. It was in Chicago, coming to New York, of Gloria and Emilio Estefan's On Your Feet. Please welcome Alexander Dinelaris. Alex?
It's an honor for me. This is my first year this past semester, and then this fall to be helping students in screenwriting course here at SVA, and I'm incredibly excited to jump in when that happens, but I'm very grateful to be here. One of the lesser known secrets in the film business is that if you want to make a great film, you need a great script. Go figure. People have asked advice for aspiring screenwriters, and then I don't presume to advise, but the one thing I would say to you writers out there, or aspiring writers out there, is that if Birdman or Whiplash or Nightcrawler said anything in recent time, it was that what we want desperately is originality, that originality is still a commodity, and that you should hold on to your voice because that's okay. There's an impulse when you're starting to want to emulate, to please, to get a job, and those things are important. But those things become temporary if you don't find your own voice and stick to your own voice as well as you can for as long as you can. Because this is a day and age when we desperately need storytellers, and that's you. So, that being said, here are the honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Screenwriting. Khalifa Altani for Land of the Brave. Dylan Gantz for Sons and Beasts. And Megan Jane Cleary for The Latchkey Kids. And the Dusty goes to Megan Jane Cleary for The Latchkey Kids.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mary Lee and Jim and all my teachers at SVA, my family, and my fellow writers, and my boyfriend, who answers my million random questions at all hours. Thank you.
Congratulations. Always good to thank the boyfriend. Always good. Thanks to our sponsors, continuing with Final Draft, Movie Magic, and WGA East. Well, we talked about the importance of a good script, and without editing anything, you just have a lot of footage and you don't have a story. So we move on to the Dusty for Outstanding Achievement in Editing, presented by four-time Emmy-winning editor Jesse Averna. Jesse's most recent work has been as series editor for Sesame Street and directed a new children's series, Monica's Mixing Bowl, and is in active development on his own film. And in his spare time, he's busy editing promos for SyFy and cutting a documentary. You can also catch Jesse leading a weekly chat for post-professionals every Wednesday night on Twitter called #postchat. So check that out. Next Wednesday, I guess he'll be doing it. So to present Outstanding Achievement in Editing, Jesse Averna.
Thank you. I think my nerves will probably get the better of me. My natural habitat is a dark room with everyone looking at the back of my head. But I do want to say a big thank you to the faculty of SVA really quickly. I'm a more recent graduate, 2008, and they have remained family and friends and mentors to me since I have left. So if there's any advice that I could give to students here, you're not leaving with just a degree. You're leaving with a family of professionals who have been through all of the craziness that you're about to go through. So lean on them. It's an invaluable commodity. But editing, the role of the modern editor has moved from just being simply cutting to sometimes you have to be a graphic artist or a visual effects artist. Sometimes you're part of an assembly line, and sometimes you get to be a storyteller. But I think what I've learned, the most valuable thing an editor can do is care. To care deeply about the director's vision and about the story. And if you're able to care as much as they do or more, you can not only achieve their vision, but hopefully improve upon it. As the editor, we are two things. We get to be the final creative pass of the project, but also the very first audience. And in a lot of ways, it is an honor to be able to do that. So a lot of people say editing is an invisible art, but if you've ever seen a good film, then you've witnessed the hand of an editor who cares. And right now, we're going to show you a group of editors who care deeply. So the honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Editing are...
The honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Editing are Jared Simon, Città dei Sogni.
Vieni qua. Sono un coglione, sono un coglione, sono un coglione.
Ce l'abbiamo già una famiglia. E poi ci rimane ancora la città dei sogni, no?
Christian Lamort, Boy Code.
I would do horrible, unspeakable things
Right,
to him,
dude?
man. Right, Coleman?
Yeah, yo.
Yo, dude, put some clothes on, man.
Rory Pfotenhauer, Japanese Fantasies.
Wow. And the winner is Jared Simon. Boy. This one has my name on it. Wow, okay.
I'd really like to thank a lot of people. I guess the school, the film department first. Tian Li Wu for hiring me as a freshman in the Avid Lab where I've been working for the past 4 years. You gave me so many great opportunities to meet so many great people, so many cool people like Jesse, who I met in the Avid Lab. I have to thank my thesis advisor, Chris Newman, for being such a good mentor and teacher and friend. Camille and Joan, as well as my best friends, Cameron and Jay, for being there for me, even though, because I'm a hot mess. Love you too, man. And of course, I have to thank my parents, Renee and Craig Simon, for just always being there and supporting me for everything. Love you too, Dad. Oh, and my Nana. Thanks, Nana.
Congratulations. Our sponsor roster continues with thanks to Panavision, Schemflug, Feature System, Kits, and Expendables. And the 2015 Dusties roll on with our next category, which is Outstanding Achievement in Cinematography. This is presented by Martin Ahlgren, a cinematographer who got his start in commercials and music videos after graduating from SVA and before moving on to feature films and TV. At SVA, he shot 20 student films and received a couple of Dusties himself. He's lensed videos for the Rolling Stones, Kanye West, and Beyonce, and shot several hundred commercials, and now is working just most recently on House of Cards. You should look out for the pilot he shot for the upcoming NBC show Blind Spot. And by the way, he was named one of Variety's 10 cinematographers to watch in 2015. So we're looking out for Martin Ahlgren. Come on up, Martin.
One of the best things of coming to SVA as a new student is that the first week of school, they hand you a 16mm Bolex and send you out into the street to make your first short film. That was 1996, so today it's maybe not a Bolex, maybe it's an iPhone 6, or I think there's a digital Bolex as well as an option. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're at school, you're constantly encouraged and challenged to go out and create. Cinematography is the art of recording light over time. The cinematographer's job is to find the tools required to do this and the inspiration to put shape to the light that is captured. In recent years, those tools have changed significantly, but the need to put artistic shape to the resulting images have not. In some ways, it's easier than ever to become a filmmaker today, and in others, it's harder. It's easier because the tools required, even very sophisticated and what used to be very expensive, they're now more accessible, cheaper, and easier to use. But at the same time, it's also harder, because now more than ever, it's how you use those tools that really matter. And it's your creativity that will set you apart. As you leave SVA, I encourage you to keep going out and create. Choose projects that challenge you. Avoid those where you feel safe. While it's great to get on set, visit big movies, maybe work on crew and get experience in the movies, it's important to never stop working in the capacity where you'd like to end up, even if it's on smaller projects. You should watch others and steal their best ideas, but make sure you have a reason to apply those ideas somewhere else and soon. So here are the honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Cinematography.
The honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Cinematography are Ziyu Zhu, Clay of Indigo, Yana Karin, Città dei Sogni,
scusa a te?
Mancano solo 2 o 3 giorni.
Va bene.
Ronnie Swenton, Gary.
Where we go today? Where we go every Tuesday. Hey! Gary gets on for her though. What do you think? And then give her the old eyebrows. Yeah, give it to her though.
And the Dusty goes to Jana Karin.
Hi guys. Jeez. Hi Mom. Привет. God, this whole film would not have been possible without Dylan Gantz's and Paula Bernardini's vision. And oh my God, this is crazy. So thank you so much to them. Thank you to Paula's family for putting us up in Italy. It was a crew of 2 people. So we really roughed it out there, and it was amazing. Thank you everyone. Thank you to the faculty. Thank you to the production office for putting up with me for 4 years. So thank you, Mom, and I'm shaking. This is really bittersweet because I wish my dad was here. So, because when you go into film, your parents, like, it's testing their patience. Because you want to have an actual career, and I wanted to prove that it was something I believed in and I could do, and I wish he was here. So, thank you.
Congratulations. Integral to the movie industry are the unions, and we would like to thank International Cinematographers Guild Local 600 and Motion Picture Studio Mechanics Local 52. Now on to Outstanding Achievement in Directing, and I'd like to bring back to the stage Mary Harron, because she's going to present this award. So come on, we heard from Mary before, but we're so happy to have you back, Mary. Come on back. Writer-director Mary Harron.
Thank you. I was asked to give a few words of advice, which is really hard. But what I would say is that, you know, when you get to direct a film, short or your own movie, you truly get to make a world from nothing. And for a few brief weeks, everyone has to do what you say. It's a magical experience. And if it goes well, then you'll go to a festival, or maybe your film will get released, and for a little time, you'll have more attention than is good for you. And then that's over, and you go back to the real life of a director, which is endless rejection, disappointment, and delay. And so I would say just cultivate patience and endurance. Avoid bitterness, work for free if you have to, and say yes more than no. And, you know, the good thing is that every so often you'll get to do this thing that is magical, which is to take a script and bring it to life. And if you didn't do this, you would have to get a real job. And we don't want to do that. So here are the honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Directing.
The honorees for Outstanding Achievement in Directing are Paola Bernardini, Città dei Sogni.
Devi stare zitto!
Non ne vale la pena.
Io sono Giovanni Riccardo Carelli e lui è mio fratello Ernesto Carelli. E un giorno potrai dire in giro che ti abbiamo rubato la bici.
Lorenzo
¿Quién nos va a
Zanini,
acompañar?
Sexy Jalapenos.
No.
Here, take these keys. Go for a ride.
Vamos a verla. Vieja.
Mami sucht Mr.
Jonathan
Xigay.
Fred Schneider, Vort.
Wenn geistig auslernen, sie klappen auf den Telefon reinkommen.
Deine Hände sind in den ganzen schwarz.
Faith!
It was just gross. Like, can't teach him. He's just so beautiful to look at. I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna let this go. It's not so.
Es halt in ein Geschehen. Noch einmal und noch einmal. Wegen mehr.
And the Dusty goes to Lorenzo Zanini for Sexy Jalapenos. He's running down the aisle here.
Well. Cool. So I want to thank a lot of people as well. I want to thank my family, of course, and they gave me the opportunity to be here. That was great. And I want to thank some teachers, George Levu, John Brooker. You guys gave me very good feedback for this film. And also want to thank my crew. They were amazing, and my cast. And also just want to say one thing. I feel very lucky because I've met people who became my friends, and they happen to be super talented. And they're the ones that I've learned the most from. And so thank you, Rory, Sven, Megan, Mike, and Ed, a lot of other people. You guys are amazing. I want to completely share this with you. Thank you.
And congratulations to you. Our thanks go to SVA Campus Store, Technicolor Postworks New York, and Gotham Sound. Well, we are nearing the end of the Dusties for 2015, but of course there are two categories left, one of which is the Dusty for Outstanding Documentary. And SVA faculty member and documentary filmmaker Deborah Dickson will present this award. She's a 3-time Academy Award nominee, a documentary filmmaker with over 30 films premiered at Sundance, the Berlin Film Festival, and many other festivals. She's been awarded Emmys, a DuPont Columbia Award, a Peabody Award, known for films like The Education of Gore Vidal and Witnesses to a Secret War. Her most recent project was as director for Cancer, the Emperor of All Maladies. And Deborah teaches in the MFA program here at SVA. So please help me welcome Deborah Dickson.
Well, I have to say, I only started teaching 6 years ago when our program began. But I'm really, really impressed with what I've seen here tonight. I would just say, first of all, congratulations. Deciding to become a filmmaker was the best decision I ever made in my life. And you've chosen to spend your life making documentary films, which is such a great privilege because every day you can wake up and really want to go to work, which is a great thing in life. And the thing about documentaries is they're so amazing because real life, I know it's a cliche, but it's so strange and so beautiful. and it's there for the taking. You know, quirky characters, moving stories, beautiful images, and your job is to gather those together, weave them, and tell a story which will say as much about you as about them. And the only other thing is be brave and don't be afraid to fail. To quote Samuel Beckett, ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail again, fail better. Which means don't play it safe. Take creative risks. Only then will you have a chance to do something really, really interesting. Here are the honorees for Outstanding Documentary.
The honorees for Outstanding Documentary are Alexandra Kopek, The Artificial
Usually
Womb.
you see them probably at the worst time of their lives for these parents.
Lauren Hall, 2 years.
2 years and 2 months after Superstorm Sandy, Governor Christie has only rebuilt, through federal money, all the billions, 335 homes.
But what's happening here is wrong. And there's absolutely nowhere to turn.
The whole idea of being
Exazim,
born in the
Alexa
wrong body
to
is
Exa.
unfathomable. Because believe me, that definitely wasn't in the course material for Catholic school sex ed.
She's a star. Are you filming this?
All those years being in the background, watching people. It's like your whole life, you're just living this like lie almost.
And the Dusty goes to Exazim for Alexa to Exa.
This is incredible. I just want to thank every one of you out there. I've been in classes with a lot of you. I've hung out with a lot of you. We've been in school together, and I couldn't have done it without all these talented, wonderful artists in the room. I want to thank my mom. I want to thank Joan Brooker. I want to thank all my casts that are over there and over there. If you guys can stand up, please. I couldn't have done it without them. If you can please stand up, yeah. And I also just want to thank the entire SVA film department, everyone at SVA. And there's one other thing I'd really like to dedicate this award to the LGBTQ community, because a lot of people don't know this, but we're not done fighting yet. We're still fighting for our rights, and every day there's hardship, but I can tell you there's a new horizon, and it's going to be beautiful. So thank you all so much.
Congratulations. And thank you to Ari Rental, Barbizon Lighting Company, and Chimera Lighting as well. Now, remember earlier we had that special surprise, that special jury award? There's another one that was suggested by the panel of jurors this year. They said, we have an idea. We want to do another special jury award for film. So this year, we have a special jury award for film, which we're going to award in a moment. That will be followed by the outstanding film. So to do the honors, please welcome back the executive producer and showrunner of the Netflix series Marco Polo, now in production for its second season, and that is Dan Minahan. Dan, come on back.
Thank you again. It's a privilege to present this. I've already made my irreverent speech. This is my inspirational speech in 2 minutes or less. I know you're all eager to get to the final awards of the evening, and I am too, but I'm going to inspire you anyways. Well, let's start here. You've chosen a difficult field. I don't have to tell you that. You've made your films and you know how all-consuming this can be. Nobody does it on their own. It literally takes a small army to get a film made. And the mind of a military strategist to run herd on the whole thing and keep it straight, and that's the directors. You always hear people say this business is all about who you know, and it is. Look around you, the people from your graduating class, these are the people that you know. One of my greatest sources of strength in my own work comes from my friendship from other filmmakers. You all helped each other make these films that we've watched tonight. You have each other, it's your best resource. The friends and colleagues you made here can last you a lifetime. I know a lot of people have said this tonight, but read each other's scripts, inspire each other, crit each other's work, take care of each other, feed each other, lend each other money, and be free with yourselves and make great films together. Without any further delay, the special jury award for film goes to Rory Frautenhauer for Japanese Fantasies.
The special jury award for film goes to Rory Frautenhauer, Japanese Fantasies.
I started to work as a part-time model. Apparently, a television producer saw my photograph in a magazine and insisted on casting me in his new show because I looked very, very British. Fortunately for me, the drama was abruptly cancelled after 2 years on the air. I abandoned my dreams of witnessing the singularity. Thank you to Sven and Lorenzo for going with me to Tokyo and letting me know when I wasn't making any sense. And thanks Alex Boskovich for witnessing my meltdowns in the editing room. And thank you Mom and Dad and Mia and Andrea for being so supportive. Thank you everyone.
Okay, and the final award. Here are the honorees for Outstanding Film.
The honorees for Outstanding Film are Lorenzo Zanini, Sexy Jalapenos.
Que me comporte como mamá.
Paola Bernardini, Città dei Sogni.
Non ci posso credere, ce la siamo cavata.
Te l'avevo detto! Te l'avevo detto che non era una buona idea! Quella c'è quasi ammazzato!
James Kamali and Joshua Barclay, Gary.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gary. Happy birthday to you.
Jonathan Fred Schneider, Vort.
Gegangen, den hinterher.
And the award goes to Paola Bernardini.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody that worked on the film. Dylan, thank you for writing an amazing script. I wish I could direct everything you write because it's always so wonderful. And Jared, I don't know where you are. Hi, Jared. Thank you for being so patient with me and working so hard on it. And Phil, Yana, and everybody in Italy that helped me. We shot the film in a region called Puglia, and that's where I'm from. And it's a beautiful place, and I'm very proud to be from there. And this means a lot. Thank you.
Congratulations, Paola. It's amazing. Puglia is a beautiful, beautiful region. Well, I want to give a shout out to the Continuing Education Department. That's where I teach. And for those of you now that you've graduated, maybe you want to take a course with me in continuing education. I teach a voiceover course, I teach an interviewing course, and it's a lot of fun. So come join me someday, okay? I want to continue our acknowledgements to Rhoda Six, who made those amazing honorary reels for us, edited them, did a fabulous job. Give them a round of applause. The beautiful flowers, Floral Aces. Our dusty woman, Caitlin Zoss. Caitlin, thank you. Our promotional partners, SyFy East and Indiegogo, and thank you to Aimee, Ramos, Mike Flanagan, the crew at the theater, thank you guys. Reeves, Annie, Sal, David Rhodes, Tony Rhodes, and all of you, thank you so much. All our presenters, our honorees, thank you so much. Now, those of you who have received awards and the presenters, you must come up to the stage before we all go drinking and having a lovely meal. So please come on up, and congratulations again. Thank you for having me. Enjoy and have a great summer.